The Islamic Antichrist. Much of this video is based on Joel Richardson's book, The Islamic Antichrist. Despite prevailing arguments for the emergence of a revived European, Roman, Empire as the Antichrist's power base, the specific nations that the Bible identifies as comprising his empire are today all Muslim. Ezekiel gives us the specific names of countries that will be involved in the invasion of Israel led by Gog. Listed in order, they are Magog, Meshech, Tubal, Persia, Cush, Put, Gomer, and Beth Togarmah, as well as many nations with you. Out of the 8 nations mentioned, 7 are mentioned in the book of Genesis as descendants of Noah and his 3 sons. Meshech was located near what was known as Phrygia, in Central and Western Asia Minor, while Tubal was located in Eastern Asia Minor. So Meshech and Tubal form portions of modern Turkey. Walid Shubat points out that, the Schaff-Herzog Encyclopedia of Religious Knowledge, citing ancient Assyrian writings, places the location of Magog in the landmass between ancient Armenia and Media, in short, the republics south of Russia and north of Israel, comprised of Azerbaijan, Afghanistan, Turkestan, Chechnya, Turkey, Iran, and Dagestan. Significantly, all of them are Muslim nations. Persia is very easy to identify. Essentially, Persia is modern-day Iran. Many Iranians in America, if asked where they are from, will say they are from Persia. In fact, Iran was called Persia until 1935. The only legitimate identification of Kush is modern Sudan, known officially since 1989 as the Islamic Republic of Sudan. The Sudanese government is Islamist to its core and an absolute swamp of Islamic oppression towards Sudan's Christian minority. Biblically, Put, or Fut, is the region west of Egypt. Today this is the nation of Libya. The Septuagint translates the word Put here as Libue. Most modern scholars seem to agree with this interpretation. Walid Shubat, however, includes Algeria, Morocco, and Tunisia along with Libya. Regarding the identification of Gomer, Baptist pastor Fred Zaspel accurately points out that, Gomer is well known to the ancient world as Gemari of North-Central Asia Minor, Cappadocia. These people are also known as the Sumerians. This seems to be the simplest, most obvious interpretation. Therefore, Gomer is Gemara, is Samaria, is Cappadocia. Cappadocia is simply central Turkey, another Islamic region. Togarmah was a descendant of Noah through Japheth then Gomer, Genesis 10:1-3. He is known to Assyrian records as Tilgaranu. It was a city-state in eastern Anatolia, Asia Minor, modern Turkey, more specifically, as Ryri states, the southeastern part of Turkey near the Syrian border. The Western European portion of the Roman Empire fell in 476. The Germanic king Odoacer deposed the last emperor of the Western Roman Empire in Italy. However, the Eastern Byzantine portion of the Roman Empire lived on for nearly another 1,000 years with Constantinople as its capital. The Roman Empire didn't actually completely fall until the eastern portion of the empire finally fell in AD 1453 to the Turks, Ottoman Empire. The Turkish, Ottoman, Empire succeeded the Roman Empire and ruled over the entire Middle East, including Jerusalem, for nearly 500 years. The Turkish Empire was the seat of the Islamic Caliphate. It wasn't until 1923 that the Islamic Caliphate was officially abolished. Today the Islamic world awaits the restoration of that caliphate. When you begin to study the Quran, you can't help but see that Muhammad, and therefore Islam, is Antichrist in its core beliefs. 1 John 2:22 Who is the liar but he who denies that Jesus is the Christ? This is the Antichrist, he who denies the Father and the Son. 1 John 2:23 Whoever denies the Son, the same doesn't have the Father. He who confesses the Son has the Father also. The Quran opposes all of the core doctrines of Christianity. The Quran pronounces a curse on those who believe that Jesus is God's Son. The Christians call Christ the Son of Allah. That is a saying from their mouth. In this, they but imitate what the unbelievers of old used to say. Allah's curse be on them, how they are deluded away from the truth. Surah 9:30. They do blaspheme who say, Allah is one of three in a trinity, for there is no God except one Allah. If they desist not from their word of blasphemy, verily a grievous penalty will befall the blasphemers among them. Surah 5:73. People who say such things utter gross blasphemies and are likened to unbelievers or infidels. Without question then, in this regard, Islam is an antichrist religious system. There can be no question that this, the second largest, fastest growing religion in the world, is, and has been from its inception, the quintessence of the very Antichrist spirit about which John the Apostle warned us. Also, the Quran specifically targets the Jewish people as the greatest enemy of Islam. The enmity of Islam toward the Jews has existed since Islam's inception. Abu Hurairah reported Allah's Messenger as saying, "The last hour would not come unless the Muslims will fight against the Jews and the Muslims would kill them until the Jews would hide themselves behind a stone or a tree, and a stone or a tree would say, 'Muslim, or the servant of Allah, there is a Jew behind me, come and kill him,' but the tree Garquad would not say, for it is the tree of the Jews." Today Islam and the Muslim world is undeniably the single most anti-Semitic force on the earth. Muslims are currently waiting for the appearance of al-Mahdi. When I first read about al-Mahdi, I was immediately struck by his similarity to the beast in the book of Revelation. Revelation 13:3. One of his heads looked like it had been wounded fatally. His fatal wound was healed, and the whole earth marveled at the beast. Revelation 13:4. They worshipped the dragon, because he gave his authority to the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, "Who is like the beast? Who is able to make war with him?" Revelation 13:5. A mouth speaking great things and blasphemy was given to him. Authority to make war for 42 months was given to him. Revelation 13:6. He opened his mouth for blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, and his dwelling, those who dwell in heaven. Sheikh Kabani identifies the Mahdi as Islam's primary Messiah figure. Jews are waiting for the Messiah, Christians are waiting for Jesus, and Muslims are waiting for both the Mahdi and Jesus. All religions describe them as men coming to save the world. The Caliph, Khalifa, in Islam may be viewed somewhat as the Pope of the Muslims. The Mahdi is believed to be a future Muslim world leader who will not only rule over the Islamic world, but the non-Muslim world as well. Rasulullah, Muhammad, said, "Armies carrying black flags will come from Khorasan. No power will be able to stop them, and they will finally reach Elah, Baytul Maqdis in Jerusalem, where they will erect their flags." The Mahdi is said to fight against the forces of evil, lead a world revolution, and set up a new world order based on justice, righteousness, and virtue. At this time, according to Islamic tradition, the Mahdi is said to preside over the entire earth as the final caliph of Islam. Ayatollah Ibrahim Amini clearly articulates this vision. The Mahdi will offer the religion of Islam to the Jews and Christians. If they accept it, they will be spared, otherwise they will be killed. The people asked, "O Prophet Muhammad, who will be the Imam, leader, of the people at that time?" The Prophet said, "He will be from my progeny and will be exactly 40 years of age. His face will shine like a star." Ka'b al-Akbar is quoted as saying, "I find the Mahdi recorded in the books of the prophets. For instance, the book of Revelation says, 'And I saw and behold a white horse. He that sat on him, went forth conquering and to conquer.'" According to Muslim prophecy, al-Mahdi has an associate named Jesus, but the Muslim Jesus isn't anything like the Jesus of the Bible. He most closely resembles the false prophet in the book of Revelation. Revelation 13:16. He causes all, the small and the great, the rich and the poor, and the free and the slave, to be given marks on their right hands, or on their foreheads. Revelation 13:17, and that no one would be able to buy or to sell, unless he has that mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of his name. The prophet said, "There is no prophet between me and him, that is, Jesus. He will descend to the earth. He will break the cross, kill swine, and abolish jizya. Allah will perish all religions except Islam." As Sidek Villiancode states in Doomsday Portents and Prophecies, Jesus, the Son of Mary, will soon descend among the Muslims as a just judge. Jesus will, therefore, judge according to the law of Islam. All people will be required to embrace Islam, and there will be no other alternative. As we have clearly seen, the Muslim Jesus, in both his nature and actions, is far different from the biblical Jesus. Rather than coming to reign as King and Messiah over all the earth from Jerusalem, Jesus instead comes to convert the world to Islam, or kill those who refuse to do so. Instead of coming to save and deliver faithful Christians and Jews, he comes to slaughter them. The false Muslim Jesus according to Islam will likewise be the greatest evangelist that the world has ever seen. He fulfills the description of the false prophet in this regard to a T. We see that the false Muslim Jesus, like the false prophet, comes to convert the Christian world to a new religion. In the case of the Muslim Jesus, the religion is, of course, Islam. And how different is the Muslim Jesus? We have already examined the Islamic traditions that establish that Jesus will abolish the jizya tax, thus leaving only two options for Christians and Jews worldwide: convert to Islam or die. The Bible says that in the last days, beheading will be the primary method by which people will be martyred for their testimony of Jesus and because of the Word of God. Islam itself has thoroughly documented the fact that Muhammad and his immediate successors practiced beheading as the specific means to kill the enemies of Islam. "When ye encounter the infidels, strike off their heads." Surah 47-4. Muhammad clearly made the claim that his commission was to fight against the unbelievers until they all submit to Islam and worship Allah. Since the time of Muhammad, global domination has been the goal of Islam. Allah's apostle, Muhammad, said, "I have been ordered to fight the people till they say, none has the right to be worshipped but Allah. O ye who believe! Fight those of the disbelievers who are near to you, and let them find harshness in you, and know that Allah is with those who keep their duty unto Him." Surah 9-123. Muslims in the West regularly refer to Islam as the religion of peace, yet this so-called religion of peace is responsible for over 90% of all fighting presently occurring in the world. Islam motivates the vast majority of world terrorism, violence, and war. There are about 400 recognized terrorist groups in the world. Over 90% of these are radical Islamic terrorist groups. Over 90% of the current world fighting involves Islamist terror movements. The Bible teaches that in the future a man will arise whose sole driving goal will be to achieve complete world domination through his political, military, religious empire. Islam has this very same goal inherent in its most core doctrines. You can find Joel Richardson's free books at his website, joelstrumpet.com. If you enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe. Have a great week. Thanks.